I've been bouldering for a bit under 2 years now, and if someone had told me about these 5 tips when I first started, it would have helped me so much. So join me on a quick climbing session and let's talk about what I wish I knew before I started bouldering.
Now, this video is a little bit different from what I normally do, and I'm by no means qualified to give any advice, but I guess I just want to share some of my personal insights, some of which are a bit controversial, but I think nonetheless are helpful for beginner boulderers or even seasoned climbers. Okay, so we're here at my local gym, Nomad in Sydney. Let's dive in. Something that definitely helped me skip multiple grades early on in my journey was that I kind of came to climbing with a bit of a light gym background. I believe that no amount of technique can help you if you don't have the underlying strength. Now, I know there's a limit to where being able to pull up 3 times your body weight can really help in your climbing ability, but having the baseline strength to do a pull-up or even hang on a bar for an extended period of time can solve so many problems that even the best technique can't. In my case, I was immediately able to solve half of my gym's grades. So a bit contentious, but number 1, prioritize your strength over technique, especially if you're a beginner.
This is a really cool V5-ish climb. You first start with an undercling and bump your hand to a pincher. Lock in your body with a toe hook, which allows you to catch the other pincher. Transition your left foot to a heel hook and reach for these small crimps. You then cut your feet and catch this really awkward sloper. I absolutely tore at my forearm here, but you can match your hands and finally reach for the finishing holds. Just quickly also, I'm almost at 1,000 subs, so if you enjoyed this video, would really appreciate if you could subscribe.
My second tip is to wear socks when you climb. Controversial, and it's viewed a bit down upon in the climbing community, but more specifically, just be comfortable when you climb. It just comes down to personal preference, but for me, I'm just a lot more comfortable when wearing socks. This can also be said about buying your first pair of climbing shoes. Climbing shoes are expensive, and I believe that people tend to overestimate the benefits of squeezing your feet into painfully small shoes, especially for beginners. So find a pair which is tight but comfortable. For me, I've gone through 3 different pairs of shoes since starting, and the Vapor V's seem to fit me the best. But I'm always keen to experiment, and as I progress and get better, I'm always keen to downsize from there. Trust me, when you're comfortable, you can just climb so much more, and that's how you get better. Number 3, like anything else, in order to get better, you have to practice and fail. So don't be scared to try boulders that are harder or outside of the grades that you're currently climbing. This is something that I'm guilty of doing, but often I'd refuse to do a climb if it looks too hard. There have been countless times that I thought a climb or a move is impossible, and it's the best feeling when you finally unlock the beta and realize that it's not actually as hard as you initially thought. It just needs a bit of trying, failing, and adjusting.
Solid. Trust. Good.
Another hack which I attribute a large percentage of my progress gain with is to climb with friends. At the gym, you meet people who are much better climbers who can push you beyond your limits. Also, climbing with friends tends to make the experience so much more fun, and you tend to climb more when you have fun. So immerse yourself in the bouldering community. Everyone is friendly and having a good time. How you doing? You well?
Yeah,
Not too bad. Finally, I definitely don't do this enough, and it's evident when I make a video like this, but I think it's important to document your whole journey. I have a tendency to only film the good climbs that I've done, but I think it's well worth it to film climbs which you also struggle with so that you have a timeline of footage that show how you solved a problem and progressed. I also wish I had more videos of me falling on easier grades so that I could appreciate the progress that I've made. Most of the time, I just use my phone to film climbs, and not only is it a good way to analyze your climbs and improve technique, but it's also a source of inspiration and pride when you look back on your successes and even failures.
This climb starts on a really bad sloper. You get your heel locked in and match your hands to generate the power to grab the small crimp. This part is a bit fidgety and you need to adjust your body positioning so you don't fall off the wall. Get your right foot on a small foothold so that you can bring your body a bit closer. And finally, reach for the end. Unfortunately, still a bit unstable for me.
So that's it from me. I'm headed home now. Leave a comment below on what you think I nailed or got completely wrong. What tips would you give to beginners? If you enjoyed this video, please check out some of my other ones and consider subscribing. I hope this helped, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace. A little post-credit scene, but I'm just really proud of this project. You saw this V6 to 7-ish climb a bit earlier, and these are just a handful of my attempts. It's really just a 2-move dynamic boulder, a dyno from the start and a dyno to finish. We got so close on the first day that we came back the following day to try it again. As you can see, a whole lot of failing and falling, but finally you do one good attempt and it's all worth it.